Alright, well, I'm making a quick pit stop. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm that fishing noob, and I'm going to be doing some bank fishing today, which is kind of crazy. I think my last, I don't know, 10 videos have been fishing for my yak. It recently rained. Wow. Yeah, it rained a ton. We've got Tropical Storm Alberto out in the Gulf right now. So, figure I'll swing out here. And I've been kind of bank fishing off and on. I just haven't brought a camera with me. So I've got a camera with me today. I'll be going through and seeing if we can snag some fish in this evening time real quick before I have to turn it in. I've got with me my Blues Tournament Pro Speed Spool. I think it's a Tournament Pro Speed Spool. I don't know. It's a Tournament Pro. Definitely my favorite rig, my favorite combo right now. Swinging over on this side, I really don't feel like hoisting a fish up and over that crazy rushing current. That would not be a good time. But yeah, this right here for sure is my favorite combo. Blues Tournament Pro and a Daiwa Tatula. This is 7'3" medium heavy fast action. So I know it rained a lot over by me where I was earlier. And apparently it rained over here a lot too. I still bank fish every once in a while, but majority of the time I'm fishing from my kayak. And it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm gonna be planning a fishing adventure, then I would rather do it from a kayak because then I can access like everything. But bank fishing is where I started, and bank fishing still has its appeal. It's just, I think it's kind of difficult to make it into a video because like I'm not gonna be bank fishing for like a couple hours. When I say a couple hours, I mean like 8. Like anywhere from 5 to 8 hours. This little pond's been super clear, which doesn't help with the algae. Or doesn't help the algae. It helps the algae a ton, it just doesn't help the pond. So those of you guys watching, do you primarily kayak fish? Or do you primarily bank fish? I think on a recent poll, you guys do a combination of both. It's kind of like the same thing where it's like if you have an extended period of time to fish, you take the kayak out. Or are you kind of like 50-50, you'll take the kayak out, or you just fish from the bank if you have a, let's say like a day to fish. I think regardless of if I catch a fish or not, ooh, someone just jumped over there. I want to make this a video. Whenever I bring out my camera, I end up making a video out of whatever the trip is, even if it's, I feel like, not the most exciting. And it's actually a lot easier to review it in post because I go by my audio track. So it's like, it's very obvious if, like, let's say for example I catch a fish, because there's a lot more talking, or it's very obvious if it's a dud video where it's like nothing but casting because my audio, the wave file is just like flat. Oh, that's a backlash and in the tree, so that might be forcing me to retie a little sooner than I anticipated. Okie dokie, I crossed over to this side. Golly, the water level's high. Look at that. I had to retie. So typically whenever I get kind of stuck in a tree and I can't get it out, like by shaking it or twitching it, or like a lot of the times I'll catch it early, so then my line doesn't wrap. Oh, hey. All right, cool. What I was saying is, a lot of times I'll catch it early so my line doesn't wrap, and then I'm able to just kind of like dance it over, but every once in a while I can't. Also, you are a, look at that, tiny fish. And as I was changing spots, I was thinking, I was like, I'm gonna stay out here until I catch a fish. Well, now I'm not gonna have to stay out here super dark. Nice little bass. Get a little shallow release. Check it out. Nice. Every once in a while when I can't snake it out, what I'll do, and I think I got this from Spencer over at River Certified, what I'll do is I will point my rod at where my snag is and I will just pull. Like I'll kind of take out all the slack of my line and I will slowly and gradually pull back on it. And a lot of the times I'm able to save a lot of line because that knot is what goes. Is that another bite? So I tried that, but that knot was just not letting go. I got tied up in a lot of those pine needles too, and those are they just get around the line like crazy. Or your line gets around it like crazy, and it's just not easy to get it out. Oh man, that is the end of my spool. Oh no. All right, we're not going to be casting very far. Been really trying to go through and expand on the things that I can throw out. So like I recently picked up a chatterbait. I like throwing out a chatterbait. It's actually one of the things that I have on my like permanent setups now. I threw out a wacky worm, but I don't really like wacky worm fishing as much. Just because like when I fish, I don't like to just sit and wait for a worm to fall. Even if it's like weighted a little bit. I really don't like just sitting and waiting. I like doing something, whether it's like messing with my rod tip or kind of retrieving or applying action or something. So like when I did fish a wacky worm, I fished it a lot more sporadically, I guess. I had a lot more action to it than I guess typically how people fish a wacky worm. That's like my preference for fishing. I like power fishing, then I also like things like a Texas rig. I like finesse fishing. I just don't like sitting and waiting, unless like I'm going for catfish, but then I'm doing something else. I think what I'm gonna have to do is just call this, because I need more line. Like it's really not helping not being able to cast out to the other side of the bank. For you guys that fish bait casters as well, do you prefer a fast bait caster like gear ratio, or do you prefer a slow one? So I know like 7s is my go-to, and I figure I can go through and just slow my retrieve down a lot and have it go slower. I feel like the times that like if a fish is swimming right at me and I need that speed, then I have it. But then I always have the option of fishing slower. So for you, is there any added benefit? Like what's the benefit of getting a slow, maybe like a 5.3 to 1 gear ratio? I know for like cranking setups, that's good, but like, why get that versus a fast reel, and then just fishing that fast reel slow? Let me know. I'm a noob, and I haven't looked it up, so I don't know right now. Is it like a matter of preference because people don't want to retrieve like this slow? Also, random question for you guys that fish bait casters. How do you like holding your bait caster? So I hold it with my ring finger on like the trigger, and then everything else is wrapping around and holding and palming that reel. Whereas I know others like fishing it with their index finger on the trigger, and like they hold like the bottom half of their rod. But I feel like fishing like this is weird. I feel like I don't have control, and like casting's fine, but the reason why I have the grip that I do is like my first bait caster, I started getting into frog fishing like instantly off that bait caster. So I learned, like, I just felt like I had more control being able to walk a dog, walk a frog, holding my reel like this, like palming the whole thing, compared to holding it down here. I just feel like that kind of action versus this, it was just more controllable when I'm holding it like this. There's more control, I feel. So what's your preference? How do you like holding your reel? Alright, update. So we're back out here again. Also, I know that I mentioned I was going to bring out some additional rods. I didn't, but what I did do is I have new line on this reel. So this is 12-pound Invisex. Pretty much got my 15-pound and 12-pound Invisex for free, but I'm planning on trying some Sunline Sniper next. I've heard good things about Sunline Sniper. You guys let me know, what is your go-to fluoro? And then also Cigar Tatsu, but I mean it's like crazy expensive. So I have fished with P-Line fluoro, I've fished with Cigar Red and Invisex. That's kind of been it right now. I didn't really have an agenda or a plan for the video today. I'm kind of just out here fishing, bring you guys along for the adventure, fishing this little pond from the bank again. Also to note, FC Sniper, I've heard, is a really good bottom contact line. Super stiff, sensitive, line diameter is thinner than, so I think 20-pound Sniper versus 20-pound Invisex. Ooh, Might be a fish right there. Sniper is a thinner diameter, comparing line for line, pound for pound. Hello. Wanted that little worm, did you? Cool. Another little fish friend. Thank you for that. See ya. Hit that like right here too, right in the shade. Sweet. Give me 5. And we're back out here again with the same exact combo, same exact rod. Gonna see if we can pick something up again. Kind of the same thing. I don't really have a really long time to fish, so we're gonna see if we can pick up any random fish right now. Now I did bring some different soft plastics with me though, so if they don't want to hit this random worm, then I have some other random worms that I have that are longer, so thinner in diameter but longer in length. So we'll see if that is something they want. No, what? Okay. Yeah. Cool. Hello. That was probably one of the most random bites I've ever had. I was gonna pop it up over that vegetation, and as I was going to pop it over, this guy decided to go through and munch on it. Alright, that was really close to your eyeball. Whew! That was a random bite. Cool. Thanks for that. See ya. Wow. Alright, well, looks like I'll keep this random worm on. That was a fun feeling whenever going through and like after giving a couple of pops, checking, and then it's like, oh, there's weight on my line, and like it's a pretty distinguishable weight whenever it's a fish compared to a snag. Like it's a different feeling. And it's like, oh, that's a fish, and then you just reel on slack and set the hook and fight's on. You know, there are joys behind bank fishing too. I really like the simplicity of bank fishing, being able to just grab a couple rods, some light tackle, and go out and beat the bank for a little bit. So much less work to do. I'm eyeing this little grass right here. Watch there be a fish right there. Oh, hello. Oh, you dropped it. Dang it. Oh, I got him that time. Oh, I didn't get him that time. Dang it. Got a couple more casts, and then I'm planning on ending this video at a different spot. Haven't fished it, but I saw it last time I was over in this area, and I was like, looks like an interesting spot to fish. Don't know if there's bass, but stay tuned and find out. We'll find out together. See you in a bit. There we go. All right, well, this is the spot. I'm gonna throw out hot pink lizard, and then probably another lizard, because that would be fun. So yeah, I was like, all right, cool. I'll swing over next time I get a quick workout in. Glad I brought my boots too, because this grass is a little taller than I was expecting, and it's wet. It's all that dew from the morning. All right, here we go. First cast at this random pond. Whoa, what is that? I see something super shallow right there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's a bass or a gar. I think it's a gar. Oh, it's 2 gar. Oh, another gar. Can you see it right there? I don't know if you can see that, but that's a gar. There's a ton of gar here. Those gar are so funny. They're like, they're just chilling right here in the grass, super duper shallow. Whoa, there's more gar. There's a lot of gar. This gar is so funny. I think it's safe to say we can call this the gar pond. all of these little things that I see swimming around and moving are all gar. Probably wouldn't really good to bring like a chopper or something out here. What did I get snagged on? Lego! Dang it. I think it's just a bunch of grass. I'm getting Gar's attention with all this movement. He's like, what is that? Something's feeding over here and I want to eat it. He's like, look at that plant. Why is it moving around so much? Oh, it's 2 Gar. Oh, did I get it out? Nope, I broke off. Dang it. I'm gonna throw this chatter out for a little bit longer. I haven't retied my other rod just because it's almost time to go. I think it would have been interesting to walk the whole entire perimeter of this and kind of just cast out, fan cast, but maybe next time. Good thing is, it's not really any algae, so I can really just fish on the bottom and not worry about having this get hung up and just fouled up with a bunch of stuff. I think it'd be interesting to bring out, you see it? Can you see it right there? It'd be interesting to bring out one of my kiddos' rods, throw out a little bobber and see what kind of fish we can catch in here. I'm sure there's like other small baby bait fish and kind of like bluegills, panfish. Thank you guys for joining me on this random bank fishing adventure. Like I mentioned earlier, there was really no kind of scheme or like plot. I didn't really plan for any specific topic or anything. Just figured bring you guys along for a little bank fishing adventure. Make sure to drop some fishing wisdom down below. I'd appreciate that. And others that read the comments would also appreciate it. It's pretty neat. But looks like that'll be it for this one. I hope that you guys are able to go fishing. And if you are fishing, hope that you're able to catch a big one. I'll catch you on the next one. God is good. Y'all be blessed. Later. Fish! That'd be cool, right? Last cast. Catch a fish. Let's see.